They say the moon sang that night. No one believes me, but I swear I heard it. It started with a drum no one dared to play, and somehow I was the one holding it when it all happened. I grew up in Ogoma, a small village tucked away in the Nigerian countryside. We didn't have much, but we had stories, old stories passed down from elders. One of those stories was about a drum, an old, dusty thing that sat in the corner of the village shrine. Everyone called it Ikoro Enso, the sacred drum. The elders said it belonged to the moon, that it carried its voice. Nobody was allowed to touch it, not even the chief priest. As a kid, I was curious about it. Who wouldn't be? I'd seen it only once, during the New Yam festival, when the chief priest carried it out briefly for a ritual. It looked ordinary, just a drum made of wood and stretched animal skin, but something about it made my skin crawl. Maybe it was the way it seemed to hum quietly, even when no one was near it. I forgot about the drum as I grew older. Life in Ogoma was simple, filled with farming, trading, and the occasional gathering under the moonlight. That was until last year, the night everything changed. It started with a power outage. The whole village went dark. I was walking back from my uncle's compound when I saw the moon. It was unusually bright, almost unnaturally so. It lit up the whole path, and I could see shadows moving even though there was no one around. That's when I heard it, the faint beat of a drum. At first, I thought someone was practicing for the upcoming festival, but the sound was coming from the shrine. Nobody played drums at the shrine. Nobody was even supposed to be there at night. I don't know why I followed the sound. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was stupidity. But I walked toward the shrine, my heart pounding louder than the drum beats. As I got closer, the sound grew clearer. It wasn't just a drum beat. It was music, rhythms and melodies that felt alive, like they were crawling under my skin. I pushed the wooden gate open and stepped inside. The shrine was empty. At least, it looked empty. But the drum, Ikoronso, was in the center of the room, and it was playing itself. I froze. My legs wouldn't move. I couldn't even blink. The drum skin rippled like water, and the beat echoed off the walls. And then, it sang. The voice wasn't human. It wasn't loud, but it filled the entire space. It spoke words I couldn't understand, but they weren't meant for me anyway. The drum was singing to the moon, and the moon, it sang back. Its light poured through the open window, so bright it hurt to look at. The drum beats and the moon's hum blended into something I can't explain. It was terrifying, beautiful, and completely overwhelming. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. Then the voice shifted. It wasn't just speaking to the moon anymore. It was speaking to me. "You shouldn't be here," it said. I dropped to my knees. I couldn't tell if it was the drum or the moon talking, but it didn't matter. My whole body felt heavy, like the air itself was pressing down on me. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "I didn't mean to." "Why are you here?" The voice interrupted, calm but firm. I heard the sound," I stammered. "I wanted to know." The drum went silent. The moon dimmed slightly. For a moment, everything was still. Then the voice said, "Curiosity is a dangerous thing. But you've seen now. You've heard." I didn't understand what it meant. I still don't. Before I could say anything, the drum let out a deep, final note that rattled the entire shrine. The moonlight faded, and the room plunged into darkness. When I opened my eyes, I was outside. The shrine gate was shut, and the drum's sound was gone. I don't remember walking out. I don't even remember standing up. But I ran home as fast as I could, my legs shaking the whole way. The next morning, I told my grandmother what happened. She just stared at me, her eyes wide with fear. Then she grabbed my hand and whispered, "You must never speak of this again." But I can't forget. The moon hasn't looked the same since that night. Sometimes, when it's full, I think I hear faint drum beats in the distance. I don't go near the shrine anymore. I don't even walk that path. Some say the old stories are just tales to keep children out of trouble, but I know what I heard. I know what I saw. And if you ever find yourself in Ogoma, don't go near the drum. Let the moon keep its song